Okay, come on down to a seat, however you can get cozy and comfy. And just take your hands to face down on your lap. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big breath out through your mouth. Take another deep breath in through your nose. And a big breath out through your mouth. One more breath. Simple inhale. Exhale. And now try this. Actually, watch me first before you try it. In a moment, you'll take your peace fingers and place your peace fingers over your eyes, and your thumbs will come into your ears and plug your ears. So don't do it yet because you have to hear what I'll instruct. But in a moment, you'll plug your ears, place those peace fingers, maybe all your fingers, over your eyes. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, you're humming. Weird breath, I know. It's called bee breath. It's really, really good for anchoring your attention and refocusing. So we'll try again. Take your thumbs against your ears. The rest of the fingers rest on your eyes, so your eyes are closed. Plug your ears. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale a long hum. Do that 3 times in total. So we're trying bee breath 3 times, plugging the ears, covering the eyes, inhaling to collect air, and humming all the way out on our exhale. And when you're all done, 3 rounds of that silly bee breath, take your hands to your heart. I used to work in retail, and it was a customer who taught me that. She said that she'd used that technique to reduce stress. And instead of screaming or swearing, she would do bee breath anytime things got a bit hectic. It's a fun little tactic. With your hands at your heart, take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale. Sit up nice and tall. Spine is even longer. Inhale again. And exhale. Take your fingers, interlace your fingers, and push your hands forward. Push your hands forward. Puff between your shoulder blades so your spine is rounding here. And then lift your arms all the way up. Good. Take your hands down, bend at your elbows, tip your palms back, elbows forward, heart is lifting. Keep your seat where it is. I'll just shift to demo. Interlace your hands behind your back. Plug your shoulder blades together, lift your heart and chest up. Inhale. Exhale, come back through center and take your hands to your heart. Let's try that again. Take a breath in. Exhale, interlace your hands, push your palms forward. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, bend at your elbows. Let the fingers tip back, the fronts of the elbows tip forward, a little arch or back bend here. And then exhale, palms come down and behind you. Interlace your hands, push your shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift up. One more time, hands to your heart. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, interlace your palms, send them forward, round the spine this time. Look right down into your belly. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, bend at your elbows, tip the fingers back, elbows forward. Palms face down like they're pressing one of those easy buttons from Staples. Push your hands, interlace them behind you. Squish your shoulder blades together, lift your heart and chest up. And exhale your hands to your heart. Lean your hips back just a little, step your feet forward just a little, so there's a nice triangle between your legs, and take your hands to your shins or your knees, and just begin to round your spine. So these are called Sufi grinds. You're just rolling around in circles. Really, really therapeutic work for any lower back pain. Turn your body around in the other direction. So same movement, just shifting it around in the other direction. Good, and then come back to neutral. Lean back, hug your feet into your bum, plant your palms and come onto all fours. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And take a breath in, dump your belly down, lift your heart and chest up. And as you exhale, puff between your shoulder blades, round into your spine, but hold here. Can you shift your weight, your torso, your body over towards the left? So your left palm gets heavy, right hand gets light. And then drop your belly down again. Lift your bum and gaze up. That's it. Keep your body hanging here in spinal extension as you shift your body over to the right. So now you're heavy on the right hand, light on the left hand, or round into your upper back. Tuck your chin to your chest. Push through both hands and move that rounded spine over towards the left. Do that one more time. So you're lowering your belly down, shifting the body to the right, puffing between your shoulder blades in this rounded spine, shifting to the left. And then try that on the other side. So push through both hands. You're leaning to the left, round into your upper back, and shift over to the right. Dump your belly down, let the shoulders retract as you shift over to the left. 2 more times, just moving the spine through a little lateral motion here. This is called lateral cat-cow or side cat-cow. Good, then come back into neutral spine, take a plain vanilla cat-cow. That means dump your belly down, lift your heart and chest up. Puff between your shoulder blades to round into your upper back. Drive your body back in through neutral. Plant your palms really strong. Engage your core. Can you lift your knees just a few inches away from the floor? Just a few inches. And then drop them back down. Drop your belly down. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your heart and chest up. One more like that. Drift your knees away from the floor. Lift them up. Puff between your shoulder blades. And then push your hips back into the sky. Walk your hands forward so you have a nice wide downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide and let's pedal out one foot and then the next. Pedal out the right foot and the left foot. Let your head hang really heavy. Good. Push the earth away with your hands. Take your right leg. Step your right leg to the outside of your left leg. So your feet cross over. Your right foot is to the outside of your left foot. Push the floor away. Let your heels sink a little further to the floor. And then come back through center and just try that same thing on the other side. So the left foot steps to the outside of the right foot. Of course, you can bend your knees. Breathe in here. Big back line stretch and breathe out. Bring both feet back through center and walk your hands all the way back towards your feet. Maybe walk your feet towards your hands. And when you get there, slide your hands up your shins, lengthen your spine, and fold your body down. Just for a second before you push into your feet, clasp your hands together, bring them to your heart, and come all the way up to stand. Interlace your fingers. Push your fingers down, and with an inhale, stretch them forward and all the way up. As you exhale, bend into your elbows, tip your elbows back, pull your belly button up, lift your gaze up, and then go ahead and press those buttons as you bring your hands down, interlace your hands behind your back, loop your shoulders back, lift your heart and chest up. Bend into your knees, think your torso down to your thighs, hinge forward. Your hands can stay bound as they start to float up overhead. Breathe in here. And then as you breathe out, take your hands first to your lower back, then to your shins. Inhale, lift your heart up halfway. Good. Exhale, plant your left hand and then your right hand before you step your right foot and then your left foot back. Puff up between your shoulder blades. You're strong in this plank. Feel and look athletic in this shape. Take a breath in. And now as you exhale, drop your elbows, your belly, your torso to the floor. Peel your shoulders back, lift your heart and chest up, look up. That's your baby cobra. Lower back down to your mat. Good. You'll do cat-cow instead if you're pregnant. Otherwise, push your fingers down onto the floor outside of the yoga mat now. Elbows perking up. Inhale, lift your heart and chest up. A second baby cobra. It's a little bit bigger. And now try that one more time. Lift your heart and chest up. And exhale to look. Good. Push into your hands, flex your feet, press down to lift up into a high plank, and then downward facing dog. And stay here. Stay here in your downward facing dog. Fingers are spread really, really wide, pinning down into your mat. This little L shape between your index finger and your thumb is firmly gripping the mat. Pull your belly up and push your chest back towards your thigh. Now from here, can you step your right foot between your hands? Right foot comes between your hands, lower down onto the left knee. Sweep your arms back behind you. Scissor both thighs together. Inhale, reach both arms up. Now on the exhale, open towards the right. Inhale, lift both arms right back up. Good. Again, exhale, open to the right. Sink deep in that pelvis. Inhale, reach both arms up. Maybe a little back bend meets you here. Open towards the right one more time. You might even tip your right fingers down your back thigh. Lift your left arm up, up, up. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, take your left hand down to the inside of your right foot. Flex your left foot. Lift your left leg. Reach your right arm to the ceiling in rotation. So your right ribs are rotating up. Both thighs are squeezing into the midline of your body. Lots of power and strength in the lower limbs. Push down through that big toe mound of your right foot. Good. And then place your right hand down on the floor. Listen carefully. Just start to walk both hands halfway up your yoga mat. Pick up your right foot. Right toes are lifting and fold your torso over that right leg. Now, if you need to walk your left leg closer or bend the knee, that's okay. This is a great big hamstring stretch. Breathe in and breathe out. And then release that right foot back down and tiptoe your hands towards the left long edge of your mat. So you're facing the wide edge of your mat with really big wide legs now. We'll walk your hands under your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, could you fold forward by any amount? Maybe you walk your hands back towards your heels as you start to tip the weight forward into the balls of your feet. Pull your inner thighs up and back. Soften through your chest. Good, good, good. Walk your hands forward again. Lift up halfway. Take a little bend in your knees. Relax your feet. Walk your hands up those thighs. The exhale brings you back up. And then go ahead and step to the top of your yoga mat. You got it. From standing, palms come together in your heart. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, interlace your hands, push your fingers down, and then stretch them forward just like before. They go all the way up. Release your hands, bend at your elbows, find that back bend, glutes squeeze in as your fingers tip back. And now press your palms down, interlace your hands behind your back, squish your shoulder blades in, look up. Hinge at your hips, fold forward, your hands can reach up overhead. Good, gently release your hands to your shins, lengthen your spine, look up. And now plant your palms, step first your right leg and then your left leg back into a high plank. Either taking a cat-cow or bend at your elbows, come down to your belly. Turn onto the tops of your feet, peel shoulders back, lift your heart and chest. Lower it back down. Good, let's try that again all the way into upward dog. Palms are flat beside your ribs. Push through all 10 toes. So before you do anything, just push into your hands, push into your toes, and then roll your shoulders back, straighten your arms all the way, and lift everything but your hands and the tops of your feet off the floor. Now with just your palms and the tops of your feet on the floor, the legs are strong and the chest is piercing through the shoulders. Good. Drop your knees down, sink your hips back towards your heels, let your feet lift up and back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in through your nose and sigh out through your mouth. Now go ahead and step your left foot between your hands, drop your right knee to the floor, scoop your arms back behind you. The inhale brings your arms up, and as you exhale, open towards the left. There you go. Inhale, pull it back up through center. Exhale, open to the left. One more like that. Inhale, bring both arms up. Exhale, open to the left. Take your left hand down your back thigh. Reach that right arm up, up, up. Inhale. And it's on the exhale that the right hand meets the floor, on the inside of the right foot. Flex the left foot, rotate to the left, lift your left arm up. Beautiful. Breathing here for a few moments. Good. One more breath in. And now can you take both hands to the inside of that left foot and turn your body towards the long edge of your mat. I'll flip around so you don't get a bum view of me this time. Hands underneath your shoulders, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Although I will say I'm wearing these really like 15-year-old jogging pants that make my bum look beautiful. So if there's any day for me to have a bum facing the camera, it's today. Inhale, lift up halfway. Now you're all going to be looking at my bum. As you exhale, can you bend into your left knee? Bend into your left knee and turn your right toes to face up. Fingers are on the ground for stability. Yeah, maybe you're super balanced here and you can bring both hands to your heart. Maybe not. Maybe you could open your arms wide. Good. Let's take our hands back down to the floor. Push your left foot onto the floor, bend into your left knee, crisscross your arms over to the left, and then pick up your right toes so they're facing the ceiling. Hands stay on the floor or they come to your heart. Maybe your arms open wide. Breathe in. Good, and breathe out. Now we can try something new. You could keep doing that, or maybe if you felt really balanced, could you attempt that no hands? So hands come to your heart, walk over to the right. This is called Skandasana. And then use the muscles of your legs to come up and over to the left. Maybe even pointing those toes. This is really slow, muscular, low work. We'll have about 30 seconds to explore, so take it easy. And remember that when we're moving through tricky shapes like this and trying to balance, having a steady breath and a steady gaze can do wonders. Good. Perfect. And then let's take our hands to the floor, lift our bums up. Place your right hand right beneath your face. Roll over towards the left and lift your left arm to the ceiling. Push firmly through both feet. Inner thighs keep drawing up. Maybe you draw your tailbone down. Take a breath in. Exhale, replace that hand on the floor with the opposite hand and just try that on the other side. Big breath comes in here. Exhale, take that hand down to the floor. Walk towards the front of your yoga mat, plant your palms, push back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And exhale. Look to the front of your mat, step your right foot between your hands, turn your left toes to face the left long edge of your mat, and then cartwheel or windmill, rather. Your hands up for warrior two. No cartwheels. No cartwheels here. Although I did try a thing called aerial yoga 2 days ago, and every muscle in my body hurts. You wrap yourself up in these silks and dangle from the ceiling like a circus performer. It's cool. It's cool. You should try it. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, sink a little deeper into that front knee. Really strong in your warrior two. Good. And now straighten your front leg, reach your right fingertips forward, and take your right fingers to your right shin. Stretch your left arm up. Push your pubic bone forward as you ground through that left outside edge of your foot. Inhale here. Exhale, take your left hand down to the left side of your yoga mat. Step your left foot forward. In fact, take both feet so they're about 2 feet apart in width and length. And now start to plug your right hip back as you walk your left fingers to the outside edge of your left foot. Maybe you need a block here. This is probably the best place you could use a block as we come into revolved triangle pose. So your left hand might be on a block, right hip tracks back, and only then does the right arm decide to stay on the hip or stretch up. And play with the placement of your hips here for 3, 2, and 1. Lower that right hand down, plant your palms, walk back into a downward dog. You could flow if you want. I won't teach it. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Step your left foot between your hands now. Turn your right toes to face the long edge of your mat. Pick your whole body up. Here's warrior two. Melt into that left knee. Spread your fingers wide and peer over your left middle fingers. Separate the toes on your feet. Sink deeper in that left knee. Now go ahead and straighten your left leg. Reach your left fingers forward and tilt all the way down like a watering can. Left hand comes to your shin as your right arm reaches for the ceiling. Take 2 deep breaths here. Good. Slowly come forward. Hands frame that front foot. Step your right foot halfway up your yoga mat until you find that nice stance. Your feet are about 2 feet apart in width and length. Take your left hand or your block to the outside edge of your left foot, and then bring your right hand to the outside edge of your left foot. Start to lengthen the torso or reach that left arm up. So many tiny mechanical movements you can make here. Try pushing through the big toe mound of your left foot, and then draw your inner thighs up. And as you do that, rotate your left ribs up. Maybe your gaze reaches towards your nose or reaches towards your thumb. Nice work. Take your hands down to the floor, step that block back beside you, push your body up and back, downward facing dog. And then take your knees nice and wide, big toes come to touch, and come down for child's pose. Stay here in child's pose. Maybe you have a bolster between your body and the floor. Maybe your head is resting on a block. And as we shift from a very yang practice into some more yin stretches, you'll notice we hold these poses a little bit longer. And when we come into these shapes, can you relax the muscles in your body? Allowing the weight of your limbs and your bones and your muscles to take over and to really help you surrender down into your mat. One more minute here. Just stay with it and breathe in and out through your nose. Take one more deep breath in and exhale. And now push your body out of that shape. So come up onto all fours, please. It might feel nice to just kick one leg and then the other back, extending the front of the hips. And could you step your right foot to the outside of your right hand now? Maybe, excuse me, maybe you put a blanket under that left knee if it's tender. Good. So place your right foot flat on the floor to start. Fingers are on the floor or on your blocks, maybe your books. If your arms aren't quite reaching the floor, take a big breath in. Lift your heart and chest up. And then exhale, let your pelvis relax. So props can really help us get into some of the deeper connective tissues in these long held shapes. Use them, please, if you have them. Option one is to stay here. Option two, hands would remain the same, but you can roll onto the outside edge of your right foot. I'll show you, you're rolling onto the outside edge of your right foot. The inner side of the foot is lifted up. And then you might stay on your palms, but you could also kick that left leg back and come down to your elbows. This is really deep, deep work through the inner groin, the front of your left hip, your quad. And just tread carefully. You never want to feel any pins and needles or sharp sensations. Back out if that shows up. Otherwise, just breathing about 10 breaths here. Take one more breath in. Big exhale comes out through your mouth, and then straighten your arms. Palms are flat. Push into that right foot and just lean your hips back so that you can drag your right leg all the way back. You decide. Either take downward facing dog, child's pose, or anything else here before we come on to the other side. When you're ready, drop your right knee to that blanket, step your left foot forward, find the extension in the right hip. So kick that right leg back. And remember, both hands are on the inside of your left foot. Yeah. Good. Really start here with breath. So find your central focus with your breath. before you roll onto the outside edge of your left foot. So opening into more of an adductor and inner groin stretch. Of course, there's still deep work happening in the front of that thigh. You could stay here, but you also have the choice of coming down onto your elbows, maybe onto books or blocks. Wherever you decide to stall in this pose, take 10 deep breaths. Good. Push your hands into the floor, lift your heart and chest up. Take your time. Sink your hips back towards your heels. Your legs might feel a bit weird. Pull your left leg back. And then find a transition that suits you. So maybe downward dog, cat cow, child's pose. 2 breaths. Good. And now step your feet forward and come to sit down on your bum with both legs extended out in front. I'm sitting up on a blanket, and this helps if you feel like you might be being pulled back in space. Go right to the edge of your blanket and it will tilt your pelvis forward. Now relax your legs entirely and really, really lazily just start to dangle over your thighs. If this causes any pain in your head or your neck, you could put a bolster or a block under your head. If you've got a growing baby in your belly, the same cue, or just keep your head up a little higher. If your hamstrings are super tight and this is a hard no, bend your knees or tuck a block under your knees. We're going to hang here just over 2 minutes in total. Start to breathe in and out through your nose. Let all of the muscular work in your body go and trust that just by doing nothing, there's some tissue rehydration, some energy movement happening under your skin. Count yourself through 10 more breaths. 10 more breaths, please. And slowly, slowly navigating all those little aches and sensations. Start to lift your head, your neck, your heart up. Place your hands behind you, bend into both knees. Just flop your knees from side to side. Now go ahead and lie down on your back. Hug both knees into your chest when you get there. Just rock around on your back. Start to straighten out your legs, maybe tucking your blanket or your bolster beneath them. Your legs can be straightened out completely or perhaps flopped open to the side with the soles of the feet coming towards one another. This is your final resting pose. Close your eyes, let go of everything. Breath control, to-do lists, thoughts, distractions. And just feel your body in a state of rest. I'll let you know when our time here is up. If this feels good, feel free to close your device and stay here. Up to 10 minutes usually. Otherwise, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms up overhead, reaching long, breathe in. And breathe out. And now roll over onto either side of your body. Push down into the earth to gradually come up. And when you get to seated, your hands meet at your heart. A moment for an intention. Maybe make a little wish here for yourself or someone you love. Take a long, deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth wide and exhale. Thank you so much for practicing. Keep practicing. Namaste.